Good afternoon. What we're going to look at today, guys, is we're going to look at one new keyword, which is multiples. Now, you've met this before in primary school. We're going to look at finding multiples, testing the numbers to see what their multiples are, and finding the lowest common multiples. So it's otherwise known as the LCM. Okay, so I guess the first question is, what is a multiple? We've met this several times in primary school, and we've met it in our times tables books. And all of those numbers, the 4 times tables, the 5 times tables, the 6 times tables, they were all multiples. All right, so the first question says, list the multiples in the 5 times tables. So we start off with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. They are the multiples of the 5 times tables. If I ask you to list the multiples of the 6 times tables, let's see how we'd go there. We start off with 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on. And what this is saying here, guys, is that we can see that when I ask for multiples, the numbers always get bigger. So that's something to keep in mind. Alright, so our new keyword today, our new key phrase is LCM. And in this question we're asked, well, what does the LCM actually stand for? Lowest common multiple. Now, I've just spent the last few minutes going through what a multiple was, so we should have a clear understanding of that. Common is just another word for the same. So we're looking for multiples that are the same between two numbers. Okay, so anytime you see the word common, just try and think of the word the same. If I say that maths and science have a lot in common, that would mean that we do the same stuff sometimes. If two people have something in common, it means that they're the same at different things. So the word common, if we just try and remember it as meaning the same. All right, let's try a question. This question is going to ask us to find the LCM of a number. Okay, so a question we were faced with here. Find the LCM of 4 and 12. The LCM stands for the lowest common, and the M stands for multiples. So that's where we're going to start off. We're going to list the multiples. And the first number we're going to list the multiples of is this one here, which is 4. So I'm going to start off. My first multiple is 4. And then if I think back to my 4 times tables, 4 1s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are 16, 4 5s are 20, 4 6s are 24, 4 7s are 28, 4 8s are 32, 4 9s are 36, and 4 10s are 40. Now I've stopped there. You might ask me, how do you know when to stop? You don't really, but I would always write out the first 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the better we get at these, the quicker it will become, and the easier we'll be able to realise when to stop. But when we're starting first, we'll write out the first 8 or 9 or 10. So 32, 36 was the number I missed there. All right, so that is the 4 times tables, or the multiples of 4 listed out. I'm now going to go on and list the multiples of 12. So I'm going to start off with 12, 24, 12 3s are 36, 12 4s are 48, 12 5s are 60, 12 6s are 72, 12 8s are going to be, no, I missed out one there, so 12 1s are 12, 24, 12 3s are 26, 12 4s are 48, 12 5s are 60, 12 6s are 72. The next one is 12 7s, and 12 7s are 84. Okay, I'm going to stop there now, because I'd probably need to use my calculator for the rest. I've forgotten my 12 times tables. But I've got a good amount listed here. All my multiples of 4 and all my multiples of 12. Now we'll go back up to what this word actually was. The LCM. The lowest common multiple. So I have listed the multiples here, so that is done. And the next part I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the C part, which is the common part. And the word I said to you, whenever you see the word common, try and think of the word the same. So we're looking at the multiples of 4 and the multiples of 12, and I'm asking myself, what ones do they have in common? And I can immediately see that the first number that they have in common is 12. All right. The second number that they have in common, I don't actually see any, 36. They have 36 in common as well. And that's it, really. We'd need to go on a little bit further. Maybe as we went on, they would have more in common as we brought each multiple further. But we must think back to the question, and our question is asking us to find the LCM. Do we remember what the L stood for? The L stood for the lowest common multiple. So the common multiples are 12 and 36, but I'm asked to find the LCM, which is the lowest common multiple. So the lowest common multiple between the numbers, or from the numbers 4 and 12, is 12. And that is the question answered. All right, so step 1, list out your multiples. Step 2, mark any common ones that you have. And step 3, choose the lowest common multiple that the two numbers have. So follow the steps and there should be no problem. List the multiples, mark the common ones, select the lowest common one. Okay, let's have a learning check so far and ensure that we can find the lowest common multiple, or the LCM, of the following numbers. So I'm going to first of all start with part 1 here, which is 2 and 3. So find the LCM of 2 and 3. So I'm going to start off by doing my multiples. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, okay, and then I'm going to do the multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, okay. I have a good few multiples listed out there. What are the common ones? Both have 6, and they both have 12, okay. Now if I continued on, they probably would have more in common. But remember, I am only interested in the LCM, which is the lowest of them. So, for the question that we're given here, find the LCM of 2 and 3. The lowest common multiple, from looking at it, what can you see? The LCM is equal to 6. Alright, so I've done the first one for you. Have a go with the rest of them here. 4 and 5, 8 and 10, 4 and 6, and this one, tricky enough. You're going to list the multiples of 2, the multiples of 3, and the multiples of 5, and you are going to see what is the lowest common multiple. Alright, okay, so that's what we've looked at today. Look back over the video if any of this doesn't make sense, or if you feel like you need to ask any questions, you can email me. Thank you. Alright, so that was today's lesson. We're focusing on finding the LCM. Do we know what each of those letters stands for? Can we find the LCM of numbers? I hope so. See you Monday.